So, ladies and gentlemen, I want to share with you in the next few minutes. I want to tell you the basics, and this is where people are missing. The first key which I share is it's very easy to succeed, and it's also very easy to fail. Are you hearing me? It's very easy to succeed, and it's also very easy to fail. Why is that so? The next principle. Success and failure is predictable. I was thinking about that on Star FM. It's very easy to succeed, it's also very easy to fail. But at the same time, it's very easy to see the way you're doing things that are going down. I'm going to show you why. This brings me to the next point. Success and failure are not because of chance, they're because of choice. When you don't become successful by accident, are you hearing me? So the accident lies in thinking that your life is going to turn around by accident. That is an accident now. And this is the problem with our generation, even the spiritual generation. We think prayer changes everything.
Amen.
We think prayer is going to change our habit of 8 hours on TV. We think prayer is going to change our habit of 5 hours on WhatsApp. We think prayer is going to change our habit of 6 hours on Facebook. We think prayer will change our habit of what happened in church.
Wow.
This is the key which I want to share with you. This is the key I want to share with you. Why I'm saying it's very easy to predict success and very easy to predict failure. If you want to be successful, it's so simple. Study successful people and ask yourself, what do they do that makes them successful? Because success is simply having successful habits. That's why why is it one was never $1,000. You don't need a professional license. You don't need a license. You are not even thinking about getting a license. Only Africa people are hiring it. You get BP. Why? Because you can't replace it. So I'm saying, if you study what successful people do and you do it, you'll be successful. It's like you want to cook a particular meal. Are you hearing me? You want to cook a particular meal. What do you need to do? You need to, number one, understand the recipe. And you cook the meal according to the recipe. You will get the results. That's why I'm saying it's difficult to be a failure. And it's very easy to be a success. It's predictable. Why am I so convinced that it's predictable as well? Which brings me to point number, I think that'll be point number 5. Study failures and avoid doing what they did, you'll be successful. Are you hearing me? Study people who have failed and avoid doing what they did, you will be successful. I hope I'm doing somebody. And this brings me to the next few principles. I happen to study law for 4 years. I've been practicing for 6 years now. When I was studying law for 4 years, what I was studying in essence are principles. In other words, you're simply studying laws. Laws that govern disciplines, laws that govern medicine, laws that govern crime, laws that govern contracts, laws that govern insurance, laws that govern family, laws that govern businesses, laws that govern media. That's principles. And this is the point.
Come with me on Facebook. Then I also created a page called After also on Facebook. Some material which I think is.
People, you can have a degree and live a horrible life. You can gain a first class degree and live a third class life. You can do that. Why? Because if you negate principles, not only this one, if you do away with principles, consequences will occur. Why is someone making money in this economy and someone not making anything in this economy? Principles. Why? Because someone is doing something that brings money and someone is doing something that brings no money. Simple. It's not even the economy. Why? Because chicken is selling chicken and you know what a chicken looks like. Pizza is selling flour, they put whatever they put there and you know flour. And someone is making money in this economy. Principles. I hear again. Principles. And when we know that success runs on principles, hey, this is the principle again. The world is governed by principles. That's why if you drive at 120 kilometers per hour in a zone which is 60 kilometers, that is an offense. Why? Because there is a principle. You have violated a principle. That's why if you eat in a particular way, it's not God who is going to be responsible for weight. Neither is it even the devil who is going to be responsible for you gaining weight. I hear me. You have violated a principle. You have violated what? A principle. Next key. I hope I'm helping someone. I'll give you a simple example. Do you know Joanna City? If you go at the top of Joanna City and jump, are you hearing me? It's not God who will kill you. It's gravity which is going to deal with you. Because it's a principle. That's why if you eat red killer, are you hearing me? It's not God who is going to kill you. If you drink red killer, it's not God who is going to kill you. It's the red killer. It will deal with you. Why? Because it's a principle that your body is not supposed to take poison. Are you hearing me? That's why if you want to make money, study the laws of money. Why are people making money? Why are people losing money? Principles. You want to have a successful marriage, successful relationship. Principles. Why? Because if you do things in the way you think it will work, no. Understand the principles. I hope I'm talking to somebody. And one of the principles is your degree is so much disconnected financial freedom. I hear you. That's why people without degrees are employing people with degrees. In the midst. They tell you 3 years experience in this trade or even similar or better. But for them to start, they simply understood principle. Principles. Tell someone principles. If you don't understand these principles, I'll tell you that the first 40 days in the first 40 days in the come into the same poverty. That's what the joke is. That's why it's I wonder. Muno, it's my landlord. Muno is on. I want to correct this myth. Prayer does not make money. I hear me. I hear me. Prayer does not make money. If prayer made money, prayer warriors would be millionaires. But this is the problem in the nation here. You must make up for the drama. You tell to go to blessing. Father, why if I need to let them release? Do it. I will not lie. I will not have a business. I will not have a thing. It's a where does it come from? Father, my job, number one, you don't even network with people. Number two, the people you interact with, they are jobless. Number three, the people you talk to, they counsel you and tell you, number it means take the job. What am I saying? We need to learn to stop be positioned. Certain things need us to open our minds. One of my favorite speakers says, if you hang around 9 broke people, you will be number 10. Alright. And this is one of the things which I'm so convinced about relating to success. Success is open to everyone. I share about it in my personal development toolkit. People, if success was meant for special people, I wasn't going to be one of them. Why? And I wouldn't be doing what I'm doing here. But what did I do? I simply chose to defy what people say about me. I chose to create a new norm. And the new norm is people can still do their dream. I'm on radio, practically every Wednesday. You tune in Style. I'm on radio. I'm in newspapers, I'm on TV. It's my seats. Are you hearing me? I've flown to Victoria Falls several times. I've never gone to Victoria Falls just to go and speak. With my seat. So what I'm saying is we need to liberate our minds and realize that success is open to all. Everyone, God is not a respecter of persons. He's not a respecter of persons. He can use anyone. And this is the reason why I say you can be what you want, regardless of your background. I lost my father at 18. And I love the woman who raised me, my mother. She's an awesome lady. Hallelujah. I love her so much. And at 18, I hear me, at 18, I walked to school 10 kilometers every day for the next 6 years. And today, I'm talking to you. So, what I'm saying, we need to liberate ourselves from that mindset where we think life is unfair. Yes, you think it's unfair, it will be unfair. But we want people to say, regardless of the way things are, I'm going to rise, I'm going to challenge my limits, I'm going to go for my dreams. That's the generation I'm asking. That's the generation I'm looking for. And that's my business. Challenging people to think that way. We can be what we want. We can be. People, we're not here to add to numbers. It's not a population issue, it's a purpose issue. I'm going to speak very fast. And this is the key I want to share with you. Called taking charge of your life. Take charge. Take responsibility. And by taking responsibility, I'm simply saying stop being a victim. I'm tired of some funny excuses. There is nothing special about death. There is nothing special about data that you use it for growing. The next thing they say, well, somebody is a millionaire doing very deep. The next thing they say, well, knowledge person. Knowing from day to day, this much per kilometer. Don't think there's so much storage. That's why I don't believe we need to hang on to excuses. Hey, I grew up in an abusive past. I'm sorry. Thank God you're not being abused. My parents were broken. I'm sorry. It's not you who broke the marriage. So what I'm saying, take charge. And when you take charge, it's premised on the realization that if your life is going to change, it takes you. It takes you. That's why I always say God can raise a dead person, but you'll never raise a person comfortably sleeping in their bed. So this is the generation we have of people who also want to be raised from chairs. And also serious. Madam, please, serious. Madam, tell me I'm graduate. Madam, create a network. Take charge. responsibility. And this is what I share in my book, The Personal Development Toolkit. If you don't change your life, no one will change it for you. If you don't like your weight, stop complaining about it. Actually. What would you mean? We're going to die. Stop blaming him on poverty. Hey, and that is the economy. And now, group on the street, what is it? Hey, think about it. And that was the more that I'm not business. They're busy. Ask them to take some of the because it's more. I know. Go take some water. And that will work. I know. Still being water, be forward. And be forward, that's what is allowed. It's Muno Zimbabwe. Muno Zimbabwe. Muno. Machina, we are Muno. And someone is saying, God, I'm praying for opportunities. I want us to reach a level where we realize God has given us the grace to achieve our dreams. But what it takes is to stop being a victim. I want to be very honest with you. I don't care how big your past is. Everyone is a past. That's why he's past. But what concerns me is someone who holds on to it and justifies not moving. If people can watch Zaka praise, so that's not going to bring down the price of bread. I hear you. That's why if you talk so much about fuel, that's not going to bring down the price of fuel. You talk so much about joblessness and so forth, that's not going to create any jobs. Yes. So, stop talking about things you can't change. Start talking about things you can change. That's why one of the favors I want you to do for yourself is to go into your inbox. Go into your phone directory, delete certain numbers. So, God can help we get away from our brain. We go back with an open mind. We go back with what? An open mind. People, I don't know change name when I'm Mark Zuckerberg, but I know he's a billionaire. I don't know the Google guys running out change Google, but I know they're billionaires. I don't know the founder of WhatsApp running out Google, but I know Christians are using WhatsApp in church. One change. So what am I saying? You've got a good product. When you've got a good product, you can sell it. People buy it, whether or not they're Muslims, they're Hindus, they're Barbarians, they're whatever. As long as it's a good product, you buy it. If you have a spirit-filled and a down product, no one will buy it. If you say it's the devil. God's going to principles. Great products. People buy it. They don't get it. Everyone is saying, you buy airtime. They don't ask you up for the and those of this one. Those of what I'm going to do. What do they care about? What do they care about? Number one, a principle. The principle is we want a product which you need. And what are we giving you? Convenience. And by the way, Econet does not give you a headset. Econet does not give you contacts. It's your business. Econet does not tell you call this much. No. They simply say it's 15 cents per minute. And whether or not you're phoning a married man, married woman, someone's girlfriend, someone's boyfriend, they don't care. But this is the principle. They're simply saying for 1 minute, if you want to enjoy our 1 minute, pay. That's why it's dangerous to have free time. I don't need to work. When I have free time, they have free time. What will you do? They will will give you free in cost because you've paid. They will give you bundles of joy because you've paid. What I'm saying, no, they want your money. Are you ready for this?
Yes.
Let's worship. I love this. The greatest discovery of my generation is that a human being, human mind, person can change their lives by merely altering their attitude. It's a mind thing. People, what is affecting people right now is the way we think about ourselves. Not the way the devil thinks about you, nor the way you think about yourself. Which brings me to the next point, which I want to share with you about the power of attitude. What is an attitude? An attitude basically is a settled way of thinking. And when settled, it means you establish yourself, you position yourself. I can also say you relax yourself on a particular way of thinking. That's why I'm down. I'm down. What they are reflecting is an attitude. In other words, for a certain period of time, they've been telling themselves, I am down. I am down. I am down. And one will follow for sure. And they tell themselves, but I'm actually down. And what happens? Their mind gets to sit, their mind gets to settle, their mind gets to fix itself on that pattern of thinking.
Me, I buy books, I read books, but guess what? My money always comes back.
What happens? You build an attitude. And the attitude develop convictions. And right now, I want us to develop new convictions. How you see yourself, how you talk about yourself, how you talk to other people about yourself. People, this whole business of telling people that I praise, honestly speaking, I'm not interested. It's an attitude that is reflecting. Yes. This is what Proverbs say, as a man thinks. As a man thinks. As a man thinks. And if you read the NIV, I think it says, as a man thinks in his heart, so is he. As a man thinks, so is he. It doesn't say as people think about you, so you are. It says as a man thinks. As a man thinks. The question becomes the next one, which is what I want to share with you about thought processes. And this is the point. What affects many of us is not what people think about us, it's what we think about ourselves. What do you think about yourself? As a man thinks, so is he. Like what Marcus Aurelius says our life is what our thoughts make it. Our life is what our thoughts make it. That's why certain people, they've already given up on life. That's a thought process. Meaning, mind and mind of a hopeless person. Your mind is already that of a person without options. But this is what the Bible is saying, as a man thinks, so is he. As a man thinks, so is he. What are you thinking about yourself? The power of thoughts. And this is why I tell people success is a state of mind. State of mind. State of mind. And the next principle, which I speak with so much conviction, is poverty never dies of money. It's simply a state of mind. People, no one is born poor. What is it? Yeah, you might be born in a family, that doesn't make you poor. No, it doesn't make you poor. But poor people, they register that in their minds. At Nama, you are poor. You are born in a difficult family, you are poor. But I'll tell you, we start different in life. One day, we are just on limousine, one day, we are just on Shikoshika, one day, we are just on Passport, one day, we are just on private jet. Yes, we come from different backgrounds. But this is why we waste our time so much. We wish we were born in family with But I want us to liberate ourselves and start thinking in terms of what we have. And stop thinking in terms of what we don't have. So I don't wish I wasn't born to a mother who would lose her husband when I'm fainting. No. I thank God for that. I'm right where God wants me. Yeah, I don't need any other family. This is the best family we can be. And what I'm meant to do is to be a blessing in that position. That's poverty is never a of money. It's a of mind. By the way, when I get poverty mindset, remember 1,000. What are you doing? And the poverty mindset, remember 1,000. I don't think that raise the $500. When I get poverty mindset, remember 1,000. I don't think that only 500. That's never fun to talk about that. But I get poverty mindset. It's a mindset just spending. What is that? No, one of the characteristics of a poverty mindset. Are you going to get a certificate for that? That's why one of my strengths, I don't live a life of competition. No, I live a life of goals. I know what I want. I do it. I don't live a life of obedience. I know what I want. I do it. I go for it. I get it. That's what I want you to do. Don't live a life of competition. Live a life of purpose. Who God has called you to be. Make that your goal. To be what God has called you to be. That's your success. Poverty mindset. By the way, the poor millionaires. What is what? Michael Jackson died at tenants. He was renting a house apparently for $250,000 a month. That was the rent he was paid per month. He died in debt, and some people wonder why. $250,000 a month. You know what? I tell people, success sometimes is a matter of common sense. What is it? Common sense, you're going to $300. You want someone that you have $100 per week. That's sugar. Also, don't get to give back. I want to straight. The next thing, I'm going to tell you, go to the radar is to one. That's what people are doing in Harare. That's why they are doing peso. Why? Because we prefer status more than financial freedom. You don't go in for no reason. The downside is the things you really appraise. So I want to tell you the name of this person. She comes to me with Mara, things are tight. Creditors on my doorstep. And guess what? I'm also owing my child's school fees. Guess how much I was owing? $10,000. School fees. And I'm like, are you saying that's the only school? $10,000 paid them. School fees, and you're not making $2,000 per month. I'm telling you, don't my mind say that look down, hey, you are number one. You don't have any other source in mind, except faith, yes. And you think money is going to come somehow, hey, and the next thing you say, they just shall live by faith. No, they just do not live out of their means. That's why many Christians right now, you'll be shocked today, you've got someone on their doorsteps. They're being so left, right, center, and defend the noses. But I want us to shift our mindset, shift our way of thinking, and do things differently. Just allow me to take one or two questions so that I can answer one or two things. Any questions? The guy with no arms, legs. I want to play a video for you. So this guy apparently is a chartered accountant by profession. Oh, that's his wife. That's all video, yes. On YouTube, you find the video, the very long video. That's the first thing. It is a chartered accountant by profession. And I was shocked. It takes about 43 words per minute without arms, without legs. It takes 43 words. You can swim. You can do a lot of other things. Without arms, without legs. That's why I say people, we don't have an excuse. We don't have an excuse for not growing. Next key. That's why I like what this guy Malcolm Before says too many people overvalue what we don't have and undervalue what we have. That's why I want you to be thankful for who you are right now. Just be thankful. Be thankful. And this is I think what I've been talking about. Aspect of audit. What do you speak about yourself? What do you speak about yourself? I'm saying what affects us is not what people speak about us, it's what we speak about ourselves. What do you speak about yourself? What do you speak about your future? Even I tell myself I am a great person. I am a person of destiny. I tell myself that. And people, when you're affirming your future, I say pride. No. When you're affirming, I am a millionaire, I am rich. That's not pride, it's a statement of fact. Yes, when you're telling people, I'm not driving today, it's a statement of fact. Because where are you parked? You don't say I'm not driving, I don't have a car. You say I didn't bring my car today, I your car. You must have there somewhere. And when you know there somewhere, your assignment is to affirm it every day. You affirm it. You drive? Yes, I drive. Where is your car? I didn't bring it today. I've got a problem now. Next week, I just want to see the range of cars that you have. I'm looking forward to buying a car for myself. Are you sure? Yes. And the next thing you say, do you offer a test drive? What are you doing? What are you doing? You are programming your mind. No, this can be done. Yes, it can be done. Why can't just drive one meter? What will they do? Oh, my God, I got now. What are you doing by doing so? You are running your minds. I'll put you to 7,000. Tell them, wow, that's a great price. Yes, you are only at 7,000. That's a great price. Don't even negotiate it. Find a reason to leave. Please forgive my private mind because the human mind is all around ways and reasons. Hey, what things are put up to do everything under colors? Get out. I went to one show, and things all have so many universe of furnitures. But it's also very beautiful leather sofas. I've been in $2. What is all that? Somebody, you have to go over reception. You got to go over my sofa in Angela. Yes. Look at 3.5, great price, I'm sure. Yeah, that's a great price. That's a great price. That's a great price. And the next things that are offered, and I'm coming next week. Don't create a space woman. Angela. And you know what I did? I went back the second time without money. And you know what I was doing? I was challenging my faith. I can do this. I can do this. But the third time I went in 3.5 cash. I was shocked. You know why? Mindset. What I did with David there on stage, we simply put fuel in a car. What are we talking? Fuel, energy, water. People, it's not an offense to drive around looking at other people's houses. What are we talking? It's not an offense. Being down almost challenge of and what you're doing is, God, I can do this. I want to do this. But you want to build inner conviction. I want to challenge you to do something you've never done before. Here it is. Do something you've never done before. And what we think is difficult, you discover it's not difficult. I want to challenge your thinking. Challenge the way you do your things. I'm going to run, my time is no longer on my side. Yes. Next slide. Yeah, I always tell people success is not compulsory. In other words, I can't change you. So you only change when you want. Yes. Next. I want to focus on this. What affects our thinking? I want to wrap up on this. What affects our thinking? The first key, our backgrounds. How we are raised. Certain people, they are always told every day, you're not going to make it in life. You know, wonder, it's not everyone is good with words. Sometimes they speak negative about our lives. Growing up, I know people, parents telling that their children. That's why I always tell parents, people never shall, no one is going to bless them. So you need to be aware of what's around the law of your struggle. Next key, association. I want you to emphasize on this. This is why this gentleman says, if you hang around 10 broke people, you'll be number 10. People, it's not compulsory to your friends. It's not an offense to have minimum friends or possibly no friends. And this is what I share in this book of mine, Personal Development Toolkit. It's better to have no friends at all than to have 1,000 friends who don't add value to you. So this is the problem you all go under. We want so much to keep associations which are not taking us anywhere. I'll tell you one thing with success with any person in life who has managed to grow. You need to learn to add certain people into your life, and you need to learn to release certain people out of your life. Why? Because certain people will simply drain your energy. Certain people, they have nothing new to add to you. They have every strength to take away from you. Who is in your life? What are they talking to you about? People, one of the things, the challenges of having great friends is you acquire habits in the process, unconsciously. That's why right now I want you to audit your vocabulary. What is this? Dream change, but can I change your language? I thought that is very strong. You know where you got it from? You didn't get it in class, you didn't get it in university because they don't write such words. But look at the people in your life, the type of messages they write to you, what they speak verbally to you, and you're bored of the language. It's now coming automatically. Effortlessly, effortlessly, yes. It's because of associations. The people who are in our lives.
How do I reconnect?
I was telling my little sister, it's coming your way. Why? Because success is more than money. But let me focus on the money because of other struggling. If you're not able to account how much you get from WhatsApp, except like there's something wrong with that. Honestly, something wrong with that. You are forwarding messages you are receiving, you are forwarding messages you are receiving. In WhatsApp station in there. This is the problem with our abundance. We unconsciously don't know that we're helping other people make money. Do you know what's up? How much was it? How many people per group? How many people? 30. 25, 30. Now it's at 100. They realize so much the demand for many people in a group. Yes. I want you to calculate 100 people times 24 hours. I want you to look at the number of hours contributed. If you're talking about 100 people times 24 hours, that's about how many days? 100 days. And a group of yes. David, you there no WhatsApp in a red light, not out to mama. You're over WhatsApp. They don't care. Facebook 24 hours, anytime they're not down there. Who are you chatting with? What is worrying? Who are you chatting with? What ideas have they brought into your life so far? What new thing have they introduced to you? How have they stretched your mind in the positive? Alright, if it's not in the positive, how have they stretched your mind? That's why I cannot come out one of the ways to develop last. Just jump on the last form. What is that? Yes. It's very simple. Very, very simple. Yes. One more best friend now. One best friend. Yeah, you're a neighbor. I'm going to give you the story. Not just because the senior late camera. I will call it. Every time you always come late. I'm showing about the power of associations. And one day, true to his character of being a late comer, he comes and on the chalkboard he sees two mathematical problems. He just copies them. And when he copies them, he doesn't ask them. Just say, and he goes, alright, this is the story of Jerry. He works the first one. He finishes it. And the next problem, he discovers, this one it might need a bit of time. And what does he do? He commits the next 3 days to working on the problem. And he solves it in 3 days. And he was already late before submitting. And he submits, and the professor calls him the same night. And the guy was very scared because he was already late. And the professor says, George, do you know what you've done? He's like, was it thought the professor was mad because he submitted the assignment late? He said, young man, apparently the second one which you solved was not a mathematical assignment. It's a famous mathematical problem which couldn't be solved from the time of Albert Einstein. He solved it in just 3 days. I'll tell you how he managed to do it. When he came late, some people were being taught about the history of the problem, which is called the famous mathematical problem. And they were being taught that even Einstein, do you know Einstein who he is? Do you know he's a Nobel Peace Prize winner? He couldn't solve this. And who are someone who was never part of the lecture, someone with no clue about the history, someone with a fresh mind, someone who is not seeing a famous mathematical problem, but someone who is seeing a homework. And within 3 days, he solved it. And when the time for dissertations came, the professor says, no, don't write a dissertation. Simply do a cover and submit. That's a dissertation. That's this man, true story. People, who is in your life? What are they saying to you? Self-programming. We're going to teach about self-programming. Self-programming is what we do every time. People, this is our problem. We choose to buy literature that inspires fear. And now we know this infamous pilot from Germany who places the down button. Yes, and everyone is carrying about 150 people who have gone. You know what? Be careful about what you allow inside your mind. Because the bulk of the stuff we're reading is inspiring. Number one, fear. Number two is discouraging us. Number three is not making us believe we can do anything. That's the challenge. That's why I don't have time for my headlines and I'm down. I don't read my newspapers a lot. No. I just curious. I don't. Why? Because why should I give you $1 for inspiring fear in me? That's why I put a problem. I'm saying I'm not geza. The next thing I'm not going to do is orange. Yes. Yes. That is inspiring you. I'm challenging you, ladies and gentlemen. I'm challenging you to specialize. I'm challenging you to believe in yourself. I'm challenging you to add value to yourself. I'm challenging you to be very particular about what you listen to. Be particular about who you allow to speak into life. Because the process is you're programming your mind. You're setting instructions in your mind. That's why certain people, they are so convinced that their lives are not going to amount to anything. Why? Because they have repeated that over and over and over and again. It's going to cost me a lot of money. What happens to this other guy that try something and fail than not to try anything and succeed? But I want you to challenge. Let's wait to replace that. It's a new I'm going to skip this video. I want you to think how different life is going to be. Think excellence. Many people, we just do things for the sake of doing it. I like what Aristotle says. He says we are what we repeatedly do. Excellence then is not an act, it's a habit. Excellence in the way you take your own room. Are you hearing me? Excellence in the small things prepares you for excellence in the big things. That's what I want you to do. Think excellence, how you do things. Think action. Many people, the problem we have is we've got ideas, but we don't act fine on the ideas. Someone is willing to embrace work. This guy called Thomas. What are they charging you for? He says motivation. They are willing to listen in readiness. And this is the problem of our generation. We get excited, we get motivated, but what do? We go and sleep and yoga. In other words, you want to be able to be remembered not because of a tombstone, yes, not because of a headstone, but because of the life which you lived. One of my favorite speakers once said the reason why many people want headstones is because there is no evidence that we ever lived. Why? Because scientists were so alive in the moment you raise it in your grave, they still know you. I tell people the world is ruled by dead people. We go to school to study Aristotle, we study Plato, we study dead people. Why? It's because they chose to make themselves relevant, such that you can't ignore them. That's what I want you to do. whatever area of your life, make the mark. Make the mark. And no one is going to be able to forget you. Yes, there might be distraction, there is distraction, and people are mourning. But you can give people a reason to celebrate. And guess what? A team which was not respected defeated victims. A team which had no awards managed to do something. Why? Because